Well, hello there. Hi, good evening to you. This is Farley Brickhummer, Special Security Agent assigned to First National Bank. Hey, I'm glad to see you here tonight. You know, I don't see many people in here tonight. This is the graveyard shift, the one that drives men crazy. Security guards go right to their knees rather than take the awesome responsibility of guarding this much money and personal property of these fine citizens. But hey, I've been to the Ajax Security Service School. I know my business when it comes to being a detective. I know my business when it comes to being a security guard. Well, that's why I'm not afraid to take on this awesome responsibility. You know, there are some people who couldn't stand up to that kind of responsibility. You know, my supervisor has even worked out a system by which he can weed out these types who can't handle this responsibility. Well, he knows back there by the security cameras, we have got ourselves a TV with which we can watch late night movies. Well, they don't mind if we watch late night movies. That's the way they know we're up all night. And the way he knows we're up all night is he asks questions about those movies. So not only do I have to be a real authority on being a detective, not only do I have to be a real authority on trying to be a security guard, I have to be somewhat of an expert on movies too, just to keep my job. Let me get the TV guide here. We got some good stuff on tonight. This is wonderful. This is great. This is going to be an evening of pleasure for the lot of us, I'll tell you. According to no less an authority than the TV Guide, we've got on The Longest Day tonight. Now, this was shot in 1962. It's black and white. That's okay. One of the great war films, they say here, a stirring historical account of the Normandy invasion and the events leading up to it. This movie has got, listen to this cavalcade of stars here. This has John Wayne in it, the Duke himself. This has Robert Mitchum in it. He's a big strapping guy. Henry Fonda, Mr. GAF himself. This movie has got Richard Burton. You know Richard Burton, he's the one who married Liz Taylor. One of many who married Liz Taylor. Rod Steiger's in this movie tonight. Robert Ryan and a special, see they make a special note here, Martini is played by Sal Mineo. Well, it sounds like a giant of a film. It's 4 hours long. I guess that's why they call it The Longest Day. It's going to help us get through the longest night here at the First National Bank. Tell you what, you start watching the film, I'll meet you back here right after the rest of my rounds, okay? Longest Day. Well, there you are. Hi. Hey, that Longest Day, that's some kind of a film, ain't it? I really don't know when I've seen anything like it. More explosions and boats going underwater and guys hollering and losing pieces of their bodies that they started the show with. I have never seen anything like it. Wonderful film, and all those stars. Well, I tell you, this kind of a thing could keep anybody awake at night. You don't have to be specially trained like one of we security guards for this to keep you up. Although I'm proud of my training, don't get me wrong. I went to the 8th Security Service School for 3 years to learn how to become a detective/security guard. I know a lot about being a detective, a lot of stuff that is valuable to know. As a matter of fact, I've got a detective tip of the week for you. I'll be right back. You see this here? This is an ordinary thermos of coffee, you may say. You may not think that this is a deadly weapon. Well, that's because you haven't been to detective school. Let me just open this up. I'll be right with you here. That smells good, steaming hot black coffee. Well, I want to tell you right now, this is the lifeblood of a security guard. I mean it, without coffee, there's not a chance in the world we'd be able to stay up. Okay, maybe with a great film like The Longest Day, but most nights, no, we need this. But it can be a deadly weapon. Oh, this is wonderful fresh perk coffee here. It's delicious, I love it. My wife, Elvira, she perks a thermos full for me every night before I go to work. But it's delicious fresh perk coffee, not bitter, horrible instant coffee. Instant coffee tastes so foul that almost nothing can ruin the flavor of it. That's why, according to detective school, 93% of poisonings in the United States last year was done in instant coffee. Think of that, if you will. Instant coffee is because that brackish, horrible, bitter, artificial flavor can't be ruined by poison. Well, think of that then, if you will. I know my coffee's okay because it tastes so good, because it's fresh perked. But if a spouse was thinking of poisoning you, well, the first thing they do is to suggest maybe you shouldn't perk your coffee anymore. Maybe instant coffee would be a good idea. So, your detective tip of the week is watch out for your spouse suggesting that you stop drinking anything but fine perk coffee. Because, friend, they might be looking to do you in. That's my detective tip of the week. Well, this is good stuff. So's the longest day. Why don't we get back to it? Boy, I'll tell you, that's a super show, isn't it? I'm loving The Longest Day. This is a movie I could just really get into. Did you hear something? Hang on, I'll be right back. A security guard's job can be awfully taxing sometimes. I heard a noise. That could have been a criminal come here to rob the bank. But no, that little noise. Can you see the cockroach in the bottom of this? I don't know why they don't clean these things out. I heard it skittered around the bottom there. That could have been 4 guys with a truck backed up to the door and an acetylene torch. But it was a big cockroach in here. Whew. May not seem scary to you, but a security guard is on edge all the time. We're trained to do that. Tell you what, let's get back to that movie while I go out and give this little guy a shot in the head with a hollow point .357 Magnum bullet, okay? Ha! Wow, The Longest Day, what a film that was. Can you believe what a breathtaking spectacle that was? I had no idea it would take that many men to kill Elizabeth Taylor. Well, hey, I'll tell you, it's that kind of a film makes it a pleasure having you share my company here at the bank at night. We got a film for you next week that I think is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this one, too. Here, let me look in the TV guide here. They're the real authority. Horse Feathers with the Marx Brothers. This was shot in 1932. And you remember the Marx Brothers. Groucho's the one who's got a mustache that's not really a mustache. Chico is the one who everybody thinks Italian who's not really Italian. And Harpo's the one who everybody thinks can't talk but really can. Well, in this movie, it's the Marx Brothers at college. Groucho's the dean, Zeppo's his son, Chico, and the silent Harpo his aide. One of their best. It co-stars Thelma Todd. So I hope you'll join me here next week right here in the bank as we guard these people's valuables. Thanks for being here. I'll see you then. I gotta go get the rest of my rounds.